welcome to Wolves After Dark. Gerald, don't watch it. You
Must
can watch
miss television.
Yeah, you can watch our reel on the fight, but that's all you need to see. Timberwolves lose 107 to 110 or 17 to 110.
What? 127 to 120.
Oh, I was off.
What
I knew
you
it was
spoke of?
7-0, but
Okay.
that's all I knew.
It's kind of been a routine for the last few games, haven't we? Like 117, 110 was the product, whatever.
I guess, yeah. But
Arbitrary.
Timberwolves lose. Very winnable, should have won game, but that is the Magic. We always play against the Magic. Carson coming in hot. What did McDaniels do? I think that is...
He showed emotion.
I just don't understand. And I like how if whatever McDaniels did was that bad, then why isn't Ant ejected for like suplexing Cole Anthony? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. But well, a disappointing game. Initial thoughts?
Expected.
Yeah.
Actually planned my entire day around this game, and I'm kind of feeling like a bum. I am a bum. But I'm kind of extra. I'm feeling extra. I'm feeling suplexed. Super bum today. I listen to podcasts that I normally don't listen to. I read articles I don't necessarily read. I was getting kind of hype and reading about the snubbing of Anthony Edwards. It's getting excited about what's going to come tonight. What is he going to bring? What is the team going to? How are they going to respond to the snubbing of our boy A1? Well, it was the opposite of what I expected. And from the jump, while we were playing pretty solid defensively, like Gobert was probably playing at an all-star level defensively, I don't think we ran a single play. I don't think we ran any action that made any sense. I think we probably had like 0 assists at the end of the first quarter. We played like absolute butt throughout, and then we got that, heroics in the fourth quarter, which was like, why wasn't this like the type of energy that you're playing with throughout? Mm-hmm. Take no nights off, no games off. This was in the schedule as a loss, totally. And I don't know what it is about the Magic, but we just turn off the valves. We kind of like we cook on low and simmer, and we don't cook on high.
We just don't take them seriously. It's kind of interesting because you think of like, okay, the Rockets games, for example, we did not play particularly well against the Rockets when we played, but they're bad enough that we can take advantage of that. Even if we take the night off somewhat, like we can still make a comeback and win the game.
Yeah, that's so true.
The Magic they have talent, like the Wagners, Cole Anthony, they've got shooters like Mo Bamba becomes a 3-point specialist against us. Like it's just like they have talent. Their record, I think the broadcast was kind of talking about this a little bit. Like their record, they're not necessarily like a sub 500 team, even though they are. Like they're a good quality team, but we never ever take them seriously, and it always comes back to bite us. Always. Yes, Godfrey, the Magic do have good players, and Bol. I forgot about Bol.
He was incredible. He's also one of a kind. This team does not scare me. And actually, this team probably doesn't scare literally anyone in the NBA. And I think that's actually a strength of theirs. They are so solid 1 through 12 that any one player can get a hot hand for a minute or two. And the rest of the players are still going to play regardless. They're still going to have a role and an impact regardless. Paolo Banchero was nothing all game. And they spanked us.
Yeah.
Like the lead, the end result is a 7-point loss. We actually were like manhandled throughout the entire game, down 20 plus, 15 in the third, like unresponsive. Yeah. The patient is dead. The body is dead. The crime scene is just bloody. And we did nothing to do anything about it.
Bad vibes in the Discord tonight. Shout out the Discord, by the way. It was, like when we were getting down by 20 and it was just like turnover after turnover. And then they would just get these crazy buckets or threes, and it was so frustrating. It was maddening to watch. But I think, to sum up kind of our intro to the game here, before we get into the tier list, it was like Ashwin and I, like you and I, we just kind of expected this. Like we expected this game. So I was not too hurt when it happened. No. But at the same time, like it's It's ridiculous. I'm not excusing it. Like, just because I expected it doesn't mean that it should be happening. So
You and I are both Bryn Forbes' elbow.
yes,
We are
bleeding.
not scarred.
Yeah.
We were taken out of the game because we cared. Kyle Anderson means so much to this team. Paulo Banchero was like 1 for 9 in the first quarter alone.
Yeah.
In the first 4 minutes, he had all these shots that were just ass. Like, no player should take these shots because Slow-Mo was on top of him. It was incredible. He took a charge. I think he had a really bad tackle almost. Some player ran right through him in the transition, and then that's where he took him out. And that sucked. And it sucked to see because our replacement, Torian Prince, was great and everything. But he couldn't really do the things that Slow-Mo is for us. Slow-Mo's like our point god now. Like, he's the offense runs through him, and that's what makes D'Lo really efficient. Is when the ball is not in D'Lo's hands and Slow-Mo finds D'Lo, or Slow-Mo finds Gobert to D'Lo. That's really fun to see that. Without that, it's a lot of D'Lo straight offense, no possessions where there's the ball passing, finding each other. And I mean, while we had a few assists here and there, we had for every assist a turnover, and for every turnover that they had 0 points in conversion on our end. So they took it to us. They played, out hustled us, out rebounded us, outplayed, and that's embarrassing. Are you a contender, pretender, or bench warmer? We are looking like bench warmers when we play games like this. We don't look like we belong in the NBA when we play like this.
Yeah, no, we really don't. And you can't just show up for a short amount of time in the fourth quarter. It's a miracle that it was even close to a 7-point, that it was a 7-point game at the end, because realistically, this was like a 30-point loss.
Yeah.
What up, Timberwolves Daily? Done with your show?
Stream.
Yeah, I hope it was. It sounds like it was electric. Pow pow.
Pow. Yeah. So we saw that little. I don't know what the fuck it's called.
Graphic
splash screen.
Yeah, but on to the tier list. And
as a reminder,
what were you gonna say? As a
reminder, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video. But also, just generally, this is a tier list for tonight, not for the season. If you're new here, this is not a grade for who they are overall. Even as a franchise-changing player like Ant, you might see a different grade for Ant tonight than he has been all season long. Because I feel like this was like game 2 or game 3 of the season where Ant was not in Ant form, and we were heavily relying on the others.
Yeah.
And, well, you'll see in the grades. But we typically start with the bench, and then we kind of do a little on our way up to maybe the most important players. And notably, most of the bench played tonight. Because we had no other bench.
We had to.
Can we talk about this? So first of all, Kyrie Irving requests a trade.
Yeah.
And third quarter, we're down big. Austin Rivers misses a 3. Mo Bamba says something kind of dramatic or emphatic, makes Markelle Fultz go ooh. And then on the other end, they miss a shot, and we go back in transition. Austin Rivers goes directly to the bench. He goes to a spot, but really it's the bench. And a little Minneapolis mayhem erupts. Your thoughts on that? Is it an A1 type fight? Is this like Malice at the Palace? Is this even like Ben Simmons headlock?
I think this was honestly if we're grading it on fights. Now there were a couple punches thrown.
There's no nut taps though. No nut taps.
There was none of that. No Dylan Brooks. So it was clean. But I kind of hated this. There's fights that I think, and sure, maybe this use a big word here, warning, galvanized the team a little bit tonight, and got them a little energized. But realistically, we were still down by 20, and I would have much rather this fight started with players all on the court rather than going over to a bench player after they made regardless of whatever comment they said. That just kind of seems weak to me.
I
on
don't
the
think I've
floor.
ever seen that. Like a bench player get up and like do something to a guy in the game.
It was really dumb.
And it started on the Magic bench. So like they only ejected 2 players, and that could have been so many more players that were like off the bench,
Yeah,
potentially on the court.
it
Crazy.
was really confusing. Yeah, I don't know, but I guess like if we're translating this to a tier list fight, like I didn't like it. So
Wancho.
Wancho maybe D.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and who should we represent fight? Not?
Yeah, Timberwolves Daily says F.
It sounds
So,
great. We don't even have an F.
We'll do.
That's how much he watches this tier list or the show.
Yeah, Timberwolves Daily. Come on,
Daily.
Jeez.
Why don't you do multiple shows a day?
Yeah, like us.
We're here all the time.
We are never not
Just
here.
nonstop.
All right. Who do we want to grade first? Do we want to do Austin Rivers first?
I think so. Austin Rivers wears a jersey. That used to be Al Jefferson's jersey. Do you remember Al Jefferson?
It did. Of
Big
course
Al.
I remember Al Jefferson. That's like when I started getting involved.
Man, he was like fun to root for, but he was awful. Just goes to show the types of players that we recruit and get excited for, and kind of promote as our all-stars. Austin Rivers, 10 minutes, 0 points, 1 brawl,
3 punches thrown,
1 ejection. Another thing about that fight I want to say before we grade this. F, by the way. Wancho, Glenn Taylor tier. I don't care.
Yeah.
The only surprise, like the thing that could have happened didn't happen. And the thing that maybe this was trying to maybe ignite was a spark of energy, emotion. Get into the game, please. Because just prior to this game, I was listening to his podcast with Ant as his guest.
Yes,
and that was not amazing. A bad listen.
I didn't listen to the whole thing. I only saw some things on Twitter, but I have to re-listen to it because that
Momo listened.
Yes, I heard Macaroni Tony, but I need to hear the rest of it.
I think this could have been an A1 ejection had it actually been implemented into our offense. Like the ejection becomes, bang bang 3, steal, assist, and 1. All those kind of energy hustle plays. We didn't see any of that. We actually saw another turnover. And then a missed shot, and then like a missed free throw or something. I don't know. It seemed like that didn't actually happen. Like it didn't help us. We were down 13 at the time. I think even 10 or something, and it became like a 16-point game. Like that's awful. This is a D level effort from Austin Rivers. However, when he got ejected, holy crap, we had to go to Bryn Forbes, who's next. 6 minutes. He has not played. I barely recognized him. No points. Dude, I love these players that just come out to play and just don't do anything. They show up because it's their job.
On our, quote, best bench of all time, as we said.
We may have said that. Versus the Orlando Magic's bench, who probably is the best bench in the NBA.
Probably. They may be.
I don't know.
They're up there.
Looks good. They look good. And I think the other strength of theirs is that they're all like B-level players. So you're going to get 100 points, You're just going to get 100 points from them. Any one of those players can get you like 20. So, coming off from the Dubs game, like what a awesome fucking game that was. We were just expecting shit. And Bryn Forbes played. And that's about all we saw. That's all we saw him get on the court. We got a bloody elbow. Hats off to his elbow.
Bryn Forbes wears a jersey.
He wears a jersey. Jake Layman's, by the way.
Yeah, Jake Layman's. Is he a D or a Wancho tonight? He did make one attempt at a dive for a loose ball that went out of bounds anyway.
It was already out of bounds. That's a Wancho. That was him saying, "Play me, Finch. Play me."
Like, please. Mason, don't remind me. Don't look back at any takes that I said before the season about Bryn Forbes. Pretend like I never said anything.
Yeah. Who was actually supposed to replace Malik Beasley was also one Jalen Noel
Yes.
who wears Randy Foy's jersey. Michael Williams jersey. 16 minutes. That was probably 13 minutes too many. 1 for 7, 4 points, a whole bunch of nothing. 1 for 7. Motherfucker, get off our squad.
Seriously.
You know what? What was that? Shams was like trying to like hit it up with some Adams commentator on a
Up and Adams. That's the show.
Up and Adams. Oh my god.
I think
People
it is.
suck. People suck. Well, he was shooting a shot, and so was Jalen apparently, but none of them went in. I want. He was kind of saying that Jalen Noel is going to tempt free agency or like look elsewhere. I don't know. In verbatim, I don't really care. I'm not even going to quote whatever the fuck he said. I'm just going to make shit up.
Please,
Jalen can't wait to get off the squad. And you know what, Jalen? I'm with you.
I'm with you too. Please do. Yeah. I don't know what to think of him. He needs I do see the potential in him being a high volume scorer, but like you can't do it once every 10 games. It has to be like at least every other game, and it's just not like that. So
2023 has not been kind to Jalen Noel. Actually, it was so embarrassing. Some of our past shows have been like, why is D'Lo on this team?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't Jalen Noel start? And it just would look better when Jalen Noel, there's no L. We were all on board that train.
Yeah.
Man, that train was short-lived.
It was.
Crash and burned. Matt Ryan, 15 minutes, also wears a jersey. Hit 2 threes in garbage time.
They were exciting.
8 points.
We have a play that we run. Did you see that we ran a play for Matt Ryan?
Window concepts.
He's the player that we run a play for, but everyone else is just ISO or flow.
We did a double screen for him.
Yeah.
That was silly. 8 points in 15 minutes off the bench. I don't mind it.
I think I'm going to say a C tonight for him. Like this was like whatever. I don't even expect this out of you. So I guess maybe it's a B, but no, I thought it was okay. I think C, just to calm.
We lost.
We did lose. Yeah.
We don't want any negative comments, you know.
But this is probably a career high in the tier list for Matt Ryan.
Matty R. Man, there's too many bench players to.
There are a lot. We have. We're going to use so many of the players tonight. It's crazy.
And we have 10 minutes left. So Naz Reid, 20 minutes, 10 points, 4 for 7 from the floor, 2 for 4 from 3. I felt him in the first half, but definitely didn't recognize like his impact in the second half. So, you know, when Gobert is on the bench, hopefully Naz is chucking threes. Hopefully Naz is like, you know, taking on that Kyle Anderson role, even because we don't even have Kyle Anderson up there of ball handling and stuff. And he wasn't doing any of that. I think he got into foul trouble and all that junk. So
yeah, he just was a non-factor. He did wear a jersey, but that was about it. What do you think for Naz?
Let's go C.
Okay. That's higher than I thought you were going to say.
Torian Prince, I got nothing really for you. He was one of maybe the players that like had something going tonight, but we didn't give him enough opportunity, and then he took himself out of the game apparently.
Yeah,
by trying to stop the fight. So the refs are out to get us. Conspiracy.
True.
Take out our Kyle Anderson replacement. I would say probably C level.
Yeah, this was a Torian game.
Yeah. I don't know the answer to that, Mason Schmidt. Will Kyle Anderson's back ever stop smazzing? How about gasming?
Yeah, will his back stop gasming? Probably not. Back spasms are not good, and I know that they can take a long time to go away, especially if you play a sport, any sport, if you're active at all, and you can't just lay down for weeks. So, he is probably going to deal with that forever.
Really quick, a side note, the Kyle Korver comparison to Matt Ryan was pretty on point because he is so trash defensively. Could not believe it. Just getting beat left and right by players that shouldn't even be in the NBA, you know? Like, It's crazy. Maybe the player off the bench of the night, who might even be one of the best players of our tier list tonight, one Luka Magic himself.
Yeah, he was crazy.
The Donk wears 55, 22 less than 77. 17 points, though, in 10 minutes. 7 for 9 from the floor. He got a whole bunch of offensive rebounds, 5, in fact. Out of his 6 rebounds were offensive D'Lo misses, and he just put it back.
Yeah, they were up a D'Lo misses.
And team high, positive 12 in a 7-point loss. MVP
of the game, 100%. It's the only way we had a chance in the game. He was hitting threes. He was getting putbacks.
It's a loss, so I don't think an A is warranted, but this is a B for sure.
Yeah, I agree. This is I almost wanted, you're right. It's a loss. We shouldn't get too ahead of ourselves. But 17 points in 10 minutes is.
At the same time, fuck it. Maybe we should put an A because he played his role. He was given only these minutes in probably a game where Luka needed to play more.
I mean, realistically, that seems like that was what was needed.
And it's actually kind of surprising because of how much our lineup changes from game to game to game, right? We didn't have Gobert in the last game because of a fucking groin, but now his groin's back, so let's procreate. Let's have Gobert back in the lineup. I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta, You accepted me onto the show, and with that comes a whole lot of bags.
This is amazing. This is content.
This is part of my toolkit. This is when I go astray.
Yeah. Solidus T, we're getting to Ant very shortly, but I agree with you. I am very disappointed in Ant tonight.
I wanted more Luka Magic. I wanted more Luke time. I thought he was one player that was actually hustling out there and gave a shit. And also, it seemed like it mattered to him. He wanted to make the comeback happen. So,
yeah.
That's our bench. That's a lot of bench players. Usually you do 1 or 2 a night. Let's just throw them all out there.
Yeah, we did everything.
I forgot. Kyle Anderson, I hope your back heals well. You were actually starting out as an A, but you only played 5 minutes, so I don't even know if we can really qualify that as a grade.
Yeah, probably not.
Just get healthy. I would say if this is a recurring thing, this really blows.
I imagine it's going to be, but we'll see.
And we're going to keep playing them.
We need to.
We don't wait until they're fully healthy.
Yeah,
we just keep playing them. I don't know.
Well, I guess you got the All-Star break coming up, so that might be good. But still, the West right now, you just can't rest players unless you're the Clippers, and then you rest your players every night. So,
Jaden McDaniels, 22, 23 minutes before he got ejected, 8 points. That's about it. He had an interesting, very acrobatic lay-in that didn't look like it was supposed to go in, but it did. But however, he played pretty solid D on Paolo Banchero as well as a couple other players. I think Wagner got nothing tonight. The little wag, little vag, and I don't know. It sucked that he went out, but also I don't think he was going to be saving our game. He wasn't going to be helping to come back. So, a grade for our boy Jaden McDaniels in 3, 2, 1.
C. I almost wanted to say D, but it's just Jaden.
It's just Jaden. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot else to say, and that's a little sad because also I'm looking at the clock, but also just this is a game in which I think his role mattered a lot more than the sum of his stat line, and well. It sucked to not have him out there when it mattered, maybe. But
and also, what did he do? What did he do to get ejected? I'd like to know. But
yeah, I watched the short 1,000 times. I haven't seen anything.
I know. I'm just.
Was Jaden even in the footage?
It's so confusing. But all right,
Rudy Gobert absent from the fourth quarter and overtime if it went into overtime.
Gobzilla.
The Gobzilla. Gobbling up 7 rebounds tonight, which is less than D'Angelo Russell.
He had so many rebounds in the first quarter; it was crazy. Not Rudy, D'Lo.
Yeah.
D'Lo had 4 in the first, I think.
Right. He ended up the game 15 and 7, 5 of 7. He had a couple lanes, a couple dunks. That's cool. An alley oop. That was cool. Made his free throws. That's great. A really good start to a Gobert game that just kind of blew out of proportion. I'm glad he's healthy. I'm glad he's on our team right now. However, a grade for our boy in 3, 2, 1. C.
See, yeah.
And
I mean,
can't you see?
I think this is just because you said it well earlier. It was just like, what are you going to do with Gobert when you're down 20 in the fourth quarter? Like, it's out of his hands at that point. You don't bring Gobert in to fix that. Like, he's in there in the close games maybe, but I don't know. It's just this was not the chance.
This is kind of borderline a D, and I'm going to go ahead and Mason Schmidt said Gobert was a D tonight, did not affect the game in any noticeable way. Magic had whatever they wanted to paint. You know, it's funny how they pack the paint and we can't get there. But Gobert is in our paint, and they can get whatever the fuck they want. Yeah. Cole Anthony drove to the rim right into Gobert and got a layup. I think that should never happen.
Yeah,
I'm just a casual observer of the truth.
You know what? We're moving him to a D. Easily persuaded.
Easy. All right, man. The two players that have gotten us here, who have been the best backcourt in the NBA, according to Big Perk himself, who thinks, and I don't necessarily disagree with him, that Ant-Man should be the face of the franchise, or face of not the franchise, but of the NBA.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's kind of like nice praise to see, and also just like the national spotlight kind of talking about us is always a good thing.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know, Ryan Russillo talked about us, and that's a bad thing. So let's go D'Lo first, because Ant is maybe the person that we want to talk about. At the end there, but D'Lo, 38 minutes, 9 for 20. 20 of those shots, 16 of those shots were threes.
Oh my gosh.
He ended up with 29, 10, and 6. However, also 6 assists. Those 6 were turnovers. I thought that was kind of funny. That was a funny joke, Ashwin. And a couple steals, but that did not counteract the fact that he had 5 turnovers in the first quarter. I believe. I could be wrong. Let me just quickly do some math and check in. 3 in the first quarter.
Felt like 5 because it was like it was such a weird, sloppy beginning of the game. It was different because like there's some games where I can feel like, oh yeah, we don't care tonight. I didn't feel like we didn't care tonight, but it was just so like lackadaisical and sloppy that it was like we were up to like 8-2 at a point, and it felt like nothing had happened in the game. It was just really odd. I don't know how to describe it. It was really strange.
I think you did say it. We just didn't care.
Yeah.
I honestly think that we didn't care. We didn't get up for this game. It's home cooking. We should be ready. We should be prepared. We had a night off and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's the opposite of what happened.
I think in that, this is going to bring me to the next person. Did we give D'Lo a grade? I don't even know.
Well, 29 points.
That's crazy.
I don't think we're down 7 without him, but I think those turnovers were egregious. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's like he made some shots. That's great. And he brought some energy into the building. That's cool. And he played some D when it mattered the least. That's cool. But I don't know if this is a D or a C.
I know. I'm in the same boat. I guess the point scoring alone is probably C worthy, I guess. But it's a weird it's a weird mixture. I guess I'm just gonna go C because I'm anxious to talk about Ant. But if you have stats for Ant, we'll go through those first.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards, 38 minutes, 5 for 15 from the floor. It seemed like all he wanted to do was chuck and not get to the rim, because he couldn't get to the rim because they clogged the paint.
Mm-hmm.
1 for 7 from 3. He got to the line 10 times, though. 19 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 turnovers. And that probably could have been 10. He had some insanely stupid ones where, like, Gobert passed to him and he didn't watch it. He didn't look for the ball. He had an over the back, I think, twice. And he's doing this thing where he's passing into traffic, or he's passing where he thinks a man would be, and it's Cole Anthony.
Yeah.
A grade, if you're ready, in 3, 2, 1.
D.
Wanch.
Yeah, I guess it probably is Wancho. Honestly, it's Wancho. And this is a little bit more of like the past couple games. And honestly, though, like the thing that makes me so upset about tonight is that I was fully expecting an insane Anthony Edwards game tonight.
Yeah.
Because, like, sure, maybe he truly doesn't care about the All-Star stuff. Like, he talked afterwards and he's like, no, I really don't care. I just want to make it to the playoffs. Like the way he's talking, I genuinely believe him. But either way, I still feel like there's a part of you as like a competitor or an athlete that goes out and you're like, okay, the next game, I'm going to show everybody that they're wrong, And I was fully expecting him to come out and score like 40 or something insane.
And you snub me?
Yeah. And like maybe he really doesn't care, but it's kind of just like shoving it in somebody's face. But he just didn't care. I don't know. Like, and he's been not great the past couple of games, really. Like he's been kind of disappointing. And I don't know what the reasoning is for that, but like what was it? I think it was the Golden State game. Nas at some point was like yelling at him and he's like, Ant, we need you. Like, get your head in the game. Like, we need you. And he's just like moping around the court and we won the game. And, and it was more so due to Nas than it was Ant, but like, he was just out of it. And I don't know what it is about what's going on right now, but it's a weird funk and I want it to be done.
Yeah. Maybe he's tired. Maybe still injured or working through injuries. There was a point that he said in the interview that he's like he didn't want to dunk it because doesn't matter. Maybe he's just spending a lot of energy right now, and maybe he's losing focus, and he has a lot of things on his mind, and that's no excuse. No. Here on the pod, we have no excuses for your effort on a nightly basis. We don't know what goes on in the locker room. We don't know what goes on at after dark or in the Stay in Shape League or anything, But I also found out that he's finally watching film this year.
Yeah.
This is the first time he's like implementing that in his game. So like this is, a kid still growing and still maturing and still finding out what it means to be successful and what it means to be not just great, but like beyond excellent, know?
Yep.
And this is the game that tells me we're not ready for the postseason. We're not ready for contention. We're not ready to build without Cat. I miss Cat, and I hate saying that out loud. But this is a game that we could have relied on someone like that. Who could have gotten us out of a funk. Who could have said, "Let's put it on my shoulders, and I'll take this game." And we've had some great efforts from Ant and D'Lo over the past month and a half or whatever, and it shouldn't have to always rest on their shoulders. And that's what's like really nice to having that three-headed dragon.
Yep. The big three.
The big three.
Yeah.
But it's just, it's upsetting when I'm watching the first quarter and Ant is like playing AAU ball where he's trying to like show off to the scouts.
Yeah.
He's playing 1-on-1, 1-on-2, taking a ton of mid-range shots. And it's like, that's great that you got that in your bag. It's great that you have that in your arsenal. But you're not getting to a line. You're not playing in the offense, and you're not helping establish an offense. You're just taking one-on-ones and having our team watch you. Early in the game, that matters a lot less than late in the game. But late in the game, he was nowhere to be found. He was literally, clearly not asking for the ball. And I don't know if that makes a great kind of composed leader when you have a night like this. I'm totally giving him all the, excuses. And you can take nights off. I don't give a fuck. You can be sore and take not play. I would be fine with that. Like, rest and recover, because at every given night we need you, if you're playing, to give it your all. And when you're not, it feels like, well, why are you out there?
Yeah, that is really what it feels like. He's standing in the corner at times with his hands on his hips, Wiggins-esque, which is not good. Godfrey, yes, I agree, but I don't think we can. Not for a while.
Yeah, and I also don't think we're gonna shake it up right now. Like, how much do you incorporate change into a season where there's 20, 30 games left? You do that in the offseason to build a new culture, build off of the culture you've established. So this is going to be like tweaking and fixing holes, which there are at every position. So what is exciting? How is exciting? who's exciting, but like, you know what I mean? Like the players involved and how we're gonna get done. But like, if we end up with fucking Kyrie Irving, shoot me in the face.
Yeah, it could happen. I don't think it'll happen. I think he's going to go to the Mavs. I think that makes the most sense.
I think so too.
You know, the Lakers don't have any assets to trade. What was the other team that was kind of rumored? I don't even remember. But I think the Mavs just make them up. Maybe the Suns. I don't know what the Suns.
Oh, the Suns were rumored, but like
they have Chris Paul, who's like suddenly ancient, and I don't know. The Mavs just makes the most sense. They lost Jalen Brunson. They need another like true point guard instead of Spencer Dinwiddie. So
yeah.
Well, I think it's time for us to go to Twitter because Austin Rivers is going a little crazy on social media right now. He's calling out Mo Bamba.
See you out back. See you on Twitter.
Yes.
He was interviewed.
Yeah, there's both him and Mo Bamba were, and there's like some interesting quotes out there. But before we go, upcoming schedule. We're still on track to be our 500 over these last like 4, 6, whatever, how many games we said we were tracking. We play 2 games. Now we play on Sunday and Tuesday, both against the Denver Nuggets.
Very important games.
Very.
Bones Highland is getting DNPs now.
Getting ready to wear a Timberwolves jersey.
Maybe.
Just waiting for us to arrive on Tuesday so that he can just hop on the plane.
Change jerseys.
Yeah.
With Naz Reid, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a bad loss. I guess this is my recap. This is a bad loss. But I'm not super heartbroken about it just because I expected it, unfortunately. So I guess, oh well, move on to the next game. Forget about this one. Luckily, you're not going to have to play the Magic anymore this season. Yeah. Even if you make it to the finals, you're not going to be playing the Magic in the finals. So we'll see them in 2024 probably. But yeah, bad loss. You got to be better than this against a team that you consistently get cooked against, and you are better than. So, these Denver games will be big. If we can somehow steal both of these Denver games, I am immediately back on the hype train. So,
yeah, for sure. My 20-second recap is we're turning the ball over too much. We're not rebounding as a team, and we're not playing. When we play games like this, we look like we're a bottom dweller Wembanyama sweepstakes team.
Seriously.
And we're not. We don't. I would love to have Wembanyama on this team. Honestly, we're not going to get him, and we shouldn't get him. So we got to play into playoff contention. We got to pretend, if not play our best, just to get there. And by the way, the teams that we just said and like the rumors for Kyrie Irving are below us in the standings and or around us. So now a team who's going to get Kyrie or a team who's going to get some change, we have to now contend with that. Yeah. It makes all those losses that we lost, the teams that we were supposed to beat, matter so much more. We have no runway. We have no excuses, and we have no room for error. It's very important to take care of business at home, but it's very important to take care of business of the teams that you're supposed to beat. And I feel like this was a team that was just hungry enough to take our flowers from us, and Denver's next. As you said, this loss sucks, but forget about it now.
Yep.
It's Denver now.
It's time to move on from this game and hopefully never talk about it again. Other than maybe the fight element of it, which is, I guess, interesting, but
also forgettable.
But forgettable as well, because who cares? It's the Timberwolves and the Magic. But all right, nice short show, short for us. 52 wins is still possible. I don't know if I will be available. Well, no, I probably won't be available. Well, no, I don't know. I put on post notifications. That way you'll know if we're going to be live. Also follow the Discord. If you're new here, subscribe. We've got 1 million shorts. All of a sudden, I'm learning how to edit on the fly with my phone. And I've got another one coming up tomorrow.
Dang.
I've already got it preloaded. Yeah, I think that's it. we hit a few more subscribers tonight, so I appreciate everybody who subscribed. I think we gained like 5 today or something like that. So that's awesome. And
road to 500.
We're
back to 500.
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
And we're probably out of the playoffs right now.
We're probably 12th. Anyways, intro as the outro. We'll see you sometime.